Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho Weather Hazard Briefing for Thursday, October 20th. Going to be having quiet weather continuing today with warm and dry conditions. Slightly breezy afternoon winds will mark the arrival of our next system moving in for tomorrow, so we will have a return to a significant pattern change with some widespread rain and impactful mountain snow ahead. I'll be breaking that down for you this morning. Key points we're going to focus on today. What might be the final days in the 60s and 70s for 2022 will be for today and tomorrow. Do have some cooler temperatures arriving for your weekend with some breezy afternoon winds. Might see some potential wind advisories during the afternoons over the next couple of days, just given the very strong winds, especially Friday and Saturday, so stay tuned for that. But we are going to see a significant pattern change this weekend. A weak polar vortex will bring our first cold air outbreak of the season down into Idaho, meaning much colder temperatures, well below normal, about 15 degrees below normal, 10 to 15 degrees, with widespread precipitation chances. That means rain, snow, which could be heavy at times, especially as you get up into the mountains. So stay tuned, especially this afternoon, for some future winter weather advisories or any warning headlines. Can be seeing breezy winds accompanying this precipitation too, which is generally going to be about that 25 to 45 mile an hour threshold through Sunday, with a break in precipitation arriving late in the day on Sunday into Monday, as continued bouts of rain and overnight mountain snow continue into next week as well. So wherever those cold temperatures will work out, overnight, at least lows in the morning will be below freezing, but during the afternoon should be above freezing. So it looks like best chance for snow as we get towards next week and this weekend will be during the morning hours down low, and especially during the overnight hours as well, with rain especially likely down in the valley floors for your afternoon. Taking a look at satellite this morning, you can see some upper-level clouds starting to work in. These are some of the outer bands of our next system working in. And to our southwest, you can also see that area as well. We do have an area of low pressure off the California coast, bringing some partly cloudy skies to some areas, but skies will be mostly sunny today. Mid-level water vapor, you can see this large upper-level trough descending through the Aleutian Islands, headed towards British Columbia and Western Canada, and that'll be reaching us for the later part of tomorrow. And what this means is much colder air, so this air is spilling down from the Arctic, going to be working its way down here into eastern Idaho, and when it does, bringing some widespread precipitation. And here's just a weather environment breakdown. So again, we got that northern Pacific upper-level jet with this high-pressure ridge collapsing to our east. So with this upper-level low starting to work into our area, big pattern change, much cooler weather, and widespread precipitation chances. Weather risk outlook for your next 5 days. Above normal temperatures continue for Thursday and into Friday. Slight cool trend as we get into Friday. Temperatures about 4 to 8 degrees cooler, especially as we get into the weekend. Going to be much colder. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, all looking near normal, if not below normal, for afternoon highs with rain and snow. Over yesterday, the progression of that precipitation has slightly sped up. So we're starting to see some accumulating precip, especially further north, later part of Friday. And that continues into Saturday and Sunday. Saturday looking like the heaviest day for precipitation impacts. Generally, things are going to stay above 6,500, 7,000 feet for snow levels during this event. So staying right above that Island Park area. And again, that's going to be one of the biggest things with this event, will be exactly where those snow levels set up. Where we're going to be seeing a lot of, as far as QPF and rainfall amounts, and where that translates to snow, especially in the high country, will lead to significant mountain accumulations as we get through the weekend. But as we get towards Sunday again, things will be starting to round down as we get towards the later part of the day on Sunday, with a break in activity early part of Sunday into Monday, with very cold temperatures giving clearing skies, with continued bouts of rain and snow throughout next week. Watches, warnings, and advisories currently out. So do have red flag warnings to our east. So get those breezy winds and very dry conditions. Probably some fire weather concerns, especially today. And we do have a winter storm watch now in effect just north of our area. And anywhere up to 10 inches down below 7,000 feet, all the way up to near 10 to 20 inches as you get into the high country. High temperatures today, so afternoon highs will be fairly seasonable for this time of year, about 10 to 15 degrees above normal, in the mid-60s to near 75 degrees as you get into the Magic Valley. And wind gusts this afternoon should be picking up about 20 to 30 miles an hour. May see some locally higher gusts up to about that 35 mark out towards the Arco Mud Lake Desert, but outside of that, should just be a fairly typical day here in eastern Idaho. High temperatures on Friday, start to see that cooling trend working in for your Friday. High temperatures drop again by about a couple degrees, especially up further north. We're back into the upper 50s to less than 70 degrees across the board. So 50s, 60s for your Friday. And wind gusts on Friday, that cold air has to get here somehow, and those wind gusts will increase again for Friday. Looking pretty strong, especially as you get out towards the Snake Plain and Upper Snake Plain, headed out towards the Teton Valley. Gusts up to about 30, 40, even maybe 45 miles an hour, especially as you get up towards the higher terrain. Weekend high temperatures, so this is taking a look at your Saturday and Sunday for your high temperatures. So seeing on Saturday, it's feeling already below normal. So we're back into the 40s and 50s for your Saturday, and then everyone will be in the 30s and 40s during the afternoon for your Sunday. So certainly feeling a little bit chillier out there. We've been fairly cold each morning, but enjoying those highs in the 70s, and that will be no more come this weekend. Low temperatures Sunday, Monday morning. So taking a look at temperatures as we get towards the next part of the week. So Sunday into Monday, fairly cold temperatures, especially on Sunday. Biggest limiting factor for very cold conditions like we'll see Monday will be that cloud cover with the precipitation moving in. But Monday, that break is going to be coming through, leading to some clear skies, helping to cool things down even more. And again, could see some first negative single digits up towards Stanley, Copper Basin, and everyone will be in the teens and 20s to start off your work week next week. Weekend wind gusts, so again on Saturday and Sunday, still looking like it's going to be a fairly breezy day, generally about 20 to 35 miles an hour, locally higher gusts up to about 35 to 40. And as you can see for Sunday, with that northerly flow starting to fill in behind, we will have some gusty downsloping winds off the Continental Divide, which will create some potential blowing and drifting hazards as you get up towards some of our mountain passes. So that'll be a big thing with this event, not looking at a whole lot of snow across the Snake Plain, but where snow does fall, especially at mountain passes, coupled with some breezy winds, could lead to some areas of blowing and drifting snow and reducing visibility. And we're taking a look at some of those probabilities over the last couple of days, and as far as a tenth or more, looking like a well chance, 80 to 90, near 100%. In areas where we're not going to see as much precipitation, way towards Salmon, Chalice, Cimaroy, and Lost River Valley areas, so you get up towards the Arco Mud Lake Desert as well. In a northwest flow regime, these areas will be shadowed, so not going to be seeing as much precipitation as their counterparts. But as we step up to that half inch or more, as you can see, that very apparent dry bias as we're getting through there. So the mountains will do okay in this event, but as you get towards the lower elevations, not going to see as much precipitation as everyone else. But for a half inch or more, so not all of this is going to translate to snow in our lower elevations, but certainly looking at a pretty good shot further across eastern Snake Plain, especially as you get up towards the greater Yellowstone area along the Idaho, Montana, Idaho-Utah borders for that half inch or more. For an inch or more, it's going to be mostly east of the Snake Plain, carrying a slight chance up in the Sawtooths, but outside of that, looking fairly confident for an inch or more of precipitation as you get towards the eastern portions of the forecast area. Now let's talk snow. Snowfall totals have increased across portions of the Snake Plain, still looking about up to an inch, maybe a few 2 to 3 inches up on the benches for Idaho Falls, Pocatello area. But again, looking about a 20 to 35% chance of an inch or more as we get towards the weekend. So as far as best chances will be Sunday morning. Got that cooler air starting to work in through the weekend, which will lower snow levels to everyone seeing snow where precipitation is falling Sunday morning. So something to keep in mind as you're headed out the door on Sunday. 4 inches or more, going to be leaving the Snake Plain for that 4 inch or more, but as you head north and east, that potential for 4 inches or more will continue. And 8 inches or more, still looking at some very impressive on as far as accumulations in the mountains this weekend. Generally above 7,000 feet, could be seeing in excess of 8 to 12 inches in some locations. And 12 inches or more, greater Yellowstone area up towards just north of the Continental Divide and east, we'll be seeing the best chance. That's where the coldest air will be in this event, helping to lower snow levels. So that will be something to keep in mind if you're headed further north and east into the high country. And here's a look at those weekend totals. This is looking at the deterministic ensemble solutions for what we have currently. So we're looking at generally about a less than an inch, maybe an inch or two in the Snake Plain, 2 to 3 in the benches. But as you get into the mountains especially, we're looking at, anywhere from 6 to 10 to even 12 inches in some places up in the central mountains. And as you go along the Continental Divide, areas along the Tetons, Teton Pass, 12 to 18 inches. So certainly an impactful storm going to be coming through on the weekend with QPF. This is rain and liquid equivalent of snow, generally hovering about that 1/4 inch to half inch across the Snake Plain, and 3/4 to near 1.5 inches as you get up towards the Tetons. So approaching, near 2 inches up through the Tetons. And this compares the 90th and 10th percentile. So taking a look at what our high-end amounts. So we could be seeing about an inch or two as far as the 10%, probability of happening. Not overly going to be happening, but you could see those totals, up in Island Park approaching 5, 7, even 8 inches. And even Driggs, standing that chance for 3 to 5 as you get east of the Snake Plain. Low end amount, so this is the 90th as far as the percentile goes. Not going to be looking as impressive for snow totals and the low end amount, but certainly a 90% chance of higher snowfall in this scenario. Low and high temperatures for your Monday. So as far as we head towards the next part of next week, we will have temperatures starting off in the teens and 20s, single digits below and above zero up in the central mountain basins, with afternoon highs in the 30s and 40s. In summary, got an impactful system moving in for the weekend, dry and warm ahead of that, with some breezy winds, widespread precipitation, and well below normal temperatures as we get into next week. Going to be seeing a break in that late Sunday into Monday. Clearing skies will help to bring some very cold temperatures for your Monday morning as we see some continued bouts of rain and mountain snow headed in through next week. And there are also your weather briefing for today, Thursday, October 20th. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome day.